Alright, so today I'm going to be ranking all of the Fortnite live events. This will be ranging from the Season 4 rocket launch event all the way up to the most recent in Chapter 5 Season 3. Now, I've been to, I believe, all but 2 of these events, so I think I have a pretty clear idea on what makes an event good or not. Let's begin with the first event, the rocket launch. The rocket launch event, I did not go to this event. Even with that being in mind, obviously I watched it, right, on YouTube. The rocket launch is just such a goated event for being the first that it has to get a goated tier, right? With the rocket launching from the villain base and then going all around the map, and we thought it was going to destroy Tilted Towers, and then it rifted into a rift, and then it went through a bunch of other rifts and then launched into the sky and created the massive rift in the sky that started Season 5. It just has to get a goated for it starting all of the live events. Without the rocket launch event, we wouldn't have the Kevin the Cube event, we wouldn't have the unvaulting or any of these other events. So it just has to go into goated. So the butterfly event in Season 6. This was the first event I went to, and it was an amazing event. Absolutely amazing event. It was cool seeing, the cube start spinning after it leaked out the rest of its energy stuff, and then it started spinning and it blew up, and it basically destroyed the map, and we went into that weird afterlife thing, and then we saw the butterfly, and it brought us back to the map, and Fortnite changed Loot Lake live, and that was just an absolutely amazing event. I won't give it goated, I think, but I will give it great, because there are more goated events in my opinion. Now, the Ice King event in Season 7 was the worst event, I think, for the longest time. It's no longer the worst event. There is worse events, but I think that the worst category is reserved for one event in particular. So I will not give it the worst. I will give it a bad. It is bad. It was, you had the Ice King up in his ice sphere for a week or something, and he was harnessing the power of Kevin the Cube, and he came out and he made a giant ice snowstorm, and it covered the map with snow, and he spawned a bunch of husks. So that was a very disappointing event, because we could have had the prisoner versus the Ice King or something, but they didn't do that. Obviously, the Ice King event lacked because they were working on the Marshmallow event, which the Marshmallow event, I think, in my opinion, is a goated live event because it is the first collab event, right? It was before the Star Wars one, Astronomical, the Ariana Grande Rift Tour. Right? This was the first Fortnite concert we had, so it kind of laid out the foundation. And it was very hype. It was very hype, and the fact that they also made it in its own game mode, so you couldn't kill people, because before then, the Ice King event and the butterfly and the rocket launch event, there weren't any special game modes. It was just the regular battle royale, and during the Season 4 rocket launch, and so during the Season 4 rocket launch event, the dude killed 40 people, and I think he still has the record to this day for the most kills in a solo match. The Marshmallow event, laid out the foundation for all of these future collab events with Travis Scott, Ariana Grande, the Kid Leroy, and all that stuff. So I feel like it just has to go goated. And for the time, it's seeing all these collabs with Fortnite, it was just amazing. The unvaulting event during Season 8 was an absolutely amazing event, in my opinion. All of these early events are just phenomenal, especially for their time. It's no one was anywhere near Fortnite. But the unvaulting event, we basically got 2 events in one, because we had the unvaulting event and then we had the volcano event where it destroyed Retail Row, Tilted Towers, and it hit Polar Peak. As the Fortnite players, we got to choose what item we wanted unvaulted in the unvaulting event. It was a community vote. We had the options to choose between the drum gun, the tactical SMG, the infinity blade, the bounce pads, the plane, and the community voted on the drum gun, and the drum gun was unvaulted. And then after we came out of the vault, the volcano blew up and destroyed Retail Row and Tilted Towers, and it struck Polar Peak to help further the Fortnite storyline. So I would say the unvaulting event is a good, right? It did, because like the unvaulting thing was cool. I think there are like better spectacle events we have, with like more cool vibes. Obviously, it was like a little bit chilly to like see Tilted Towers get destroyed and Retail Row, but I mean, it is a good event, but I don't think it particularly deserves a grade. Now, the final showdown in Season 9, the Robot versus Monster event, I think is one of the greatest events. It was hype. Like, we got to like watch an actual fight, and it was like epic. I think it was really cool to see like the monster and the mech fight each other, and then like the mech pulled the statue out of Neo Tilted, and it was revealed to be like a sword. And you had that like epic scene right here where they're like in the air launching at each other, and then he stabs him in the face. That was just absolutely amazing. So I will personally give it a goated. Alright, the Season X end event, the last event of Chapter 1. The hype of this event was insane. It's thinking like, are we getting a new map? Is Fortnite over? All this build up with the visitor and the scientist, audio logs and all that. It was a great build up. The event was amazing, I think, with like the 7 rockets launching all around, and the rifts, and having them like take the meteor and like use it to crash to the 0 point. Then you had the explosion that launched us all away, and then you had like the black hole, and then you had like the black hole. The game was shut down for 2 days, and all these kids were freaking out, and people were thinking that all their V-Bucks are gone. It was an absolute, I feel like it has to get goated just because of what it is. Alright, so the Star Wars Live at Risky Reels event. I wouldn't really even call this too much of an event, just because it's not like, kind of like a regular event, even like the mini events, like the Pandora's Box. But I guess we can go with it being an event. In terms of, here's the thing, it was kind of boring seeing, because like it was just like J.J. Abrams and a couple other guys just talking for like 5-10 minutes, and then at the end we got lightsabers. And so because of the fact that we got lightsabers at the end, which I think was cool, because it was like, are we gonna get lightsabers? Are we not? And I think just because we did, I'm just gonna give it a meh. Okay. We also got to see like an early clip, which I didn't get to see because I had too much lag, and so it played like 2 seconds of the clip before it ended. But anyway, it's a meh. I mean, it's borderline very bad, but it's a meh, I guess, Actually, it gets a bad. It gets a bad. It was pretty bad. Alright, so Travis Scott's Astronomical. The Astronomical event was a pretty cool event, I won't lie. I'm not like the biggest Travis Scott fan, right? But it was a pretty cool event. Where you had like Astro World, it like got closer to the island, and like Travis Scott came down, and you had like the underwater thing, and like he like lit the entire island on fire, and he like walked around it, and then we went to like space and stuff, and it was a really cool event. It was kind of hype, I won't lie, especially for like lockdown. I think they really did cook, in my opinion. And it's just like really iconic, and like the Fortnite community, and just in like general, I think. But I do think that I think it is great. I couldn't give it goated, maybe. I'll see about giving it goated. There's a good chance it'll go into goated. Now the device event in Chapter 2 Season 2, the second event of Chapter 2 Season 2, we got two events during lockdown. During like prime lockdown with Travis Scott and the device event. So that was amazing. Fortnite still cooked while they couldn't like actively work, which was awesome. This event is good for like multiple reasons, I think, because it really projected the story forward with like getting the like back and forth between like Jones's office and the island, and like hearing and like the first time seeing like the IO and like seeing them all freak out with like Midas trying to like destroy the loop and the storm and whatever, and then like seeing the massive wall of water, like the sharks and all that, and like the storm literally becoming a wall of water for like 2 or 3 days was really cool to see. And you can like swim in the storm. It was kind of stupid whenever you would be in the storm and you're trying to escape and you're like up in the air and you come out and then you fall to your death. But besides from that, I do think that the device event does get goated, in my opinion, just because one, with the fact that like I'm pretty sure that they worked on some of this during their lockdown and they still cooked this hard. All right, so the Galactus event. The Galactus event during Chapter 2 Season 4 was an amazing event, in my opinion, because it was the first time we got to interact with an event. Now, I'm not usually, I'd say, maybe the biggest fan with like interactive events. Sometimes it's really cool. I do kind of like seeing the events though, with like the device event and the mech versus monster. I think I do typically prefer the like watch events and like the recent mini lab events we've had. But this was really cool because like we got to drive the battle bus and fight against Galactus. The build up for this event was really amazing because we got to like see Galactus get bigger in the sky like every week. Like he got closer to the island, got to the island, and then he like destroyed the Avengers helicarrier and stuff. And then we saw like Iron Man and the other Avengers, and we drove the battle bus to fight him, and we fought all those robots, and we had like, I don't remember what it was. I think it was AC/DC playing, and like it was a really cool event, honestly. And it was like a big collab event that like it was a part of the story too, which, you know, whether or not you're a fan of like the collab stuff being a part of the story, I think it can be cool as long as if they do it right, you know. And I think they did the Galactus event right in terms of connecting it with the story. So honestly, I'm gonna give it a great, and I'm gonna move Travis Scott up to goated, just because. All right, so the Chapter 2 Season 6 freaking 0 Point Crisis, the Zero Crisis event. It wasn't really like an event, it was like a single player story game thing. I mean, it wasn't really an event because like events typically have like the selected slot times and stuff, and like they don't happen again usually, you know, unless you're talking about like the concerts times. But like, I mean, it was interesting, and it was the first time we saw like the foundation and Joe. I think it helped put the story together a little bit. So, I mean, I'm gonna give it a meh. You know, it's not really. I couldn't put it on the same level as the Ice King event, I think. So I'm gonna have to give it a meh, just because. So I'm just gonna have to give it a meh. Now the Rift Tour with Ariana Grande. This was another 2 event season, so it is pretty good. The Rift Tour was cool. You know, seeing all like the memories from like the previous events, I think was awesome. I mean, like the thing about this, like I don't really like, you know, I do remember fighting the Storm King, and like I do remember like Ariana Grande stuff. I mean, it's not as iconic as like Travis Scott or Marshmello. I think it's like I'm just gonna have to give it a grade. You know, it's like iconic enough to get it goated, but it was pretty cool. I think. Uh, Not really too much to say, honestly. I think, in my opinion, but I'm gonna give it a great. It could potentially go down into good later, but it's gonna give it great for me for right now. The Skyfire event. I think the Skyfire event, honestly, is a really great event. You know, with like doing like the like invasion of the mothership, and like then like Sloan abandoned us. You know, then like thinking that, oh wait, are we just gonna like die or something? And then we see Kevin the Cube rise from the ashes, and then like we like do the reboot thing on him, and he turns blue. The like mothership explodes or something, and then we like and then like we see all the other cubes, and we're like, what is this? There's more Kevins, and then like the ship explodes, and then we see all the stuff crash onto the island, and then like in season 8, none of the POIs that got hit were destroyed. But you know, cinematic. I think it was a really cool event, especially with the story. But I think that, I think it's good. I don't think it's great level. I think great is for like the other stuff. The Fortnite Chapter 2 end event, I think, is, in my opinion, right? In my personal opinion, it is the best event in Fortnite. I think no other event comes close to it. Not even the original end event, right? Not like the rocket launch, Galactus. None of these events, in my opinion, are even a contender. I mean, like they're contenders, but like, you know, they all come second compared to the Chapter 2 end of it. It was hype. You know, it's like we got to fight against like the Cube Queen's armies and stuff, and like, you know, we got to like interact with the Seven. So definitely in terms of the story, I loved the story of it. You know, we're fighting the monsters, and then like, you know, the scientist and the visitor come and like save us, and they like open up the bunker, and then we jump into it, and we're in like the IO base, and like you have like the rock in there, or the foundation, and the foundation was revealed to be the rock, and that was hype. That was insanely hype. And then like, you know, you're running through the middle of the island, and then like, you know, it's like starting to like flip up and stuff, and like, you know, we see the rock, and the music is great too. The music, I love the music of this event. And so you know like we like get to the rock, and then we like get sucked underwater and stuff, and then we like, you know, surface, and we see the island flipping, and you have that fantastic shot with the lighting and the music. It's shit. It goes so hard. The Chapter 2 end event goes so hard. But like the end event for Chapter 2 was just so amazing. It was absolutely like this was the peak story of Fortnite. And like it was just amazing. Like no event has yet to beat that cinematic shot of the island flipping. That was just amazing. All right, now Collision. During Chapter 3, Season 2. The Collision event was a good event. It kind of sucked that part of it was told through like a comic book, because like you have to buy a comic book to find out, or you have to like watch a video on YouTube. So that was kind of stupid. But in terms of just like the event itself, with them like rehashing the paradigm as like Brie Larson was, I mean, I think that's a little bit weird. But you know, the event was cool. You know, piloting the mech again. You know, we got the mech back. We like piloted it, and we like destroyed the IO, or like we like fought them back. We like got like our first glimpse at Geno, the leader of the IO, and it was an okay event. You know, I'd give it good. but like, it's not anything like too crazy. It was good. It was good. It wasn't bad at all, but it was good. Here we are. The Chapter 3 Season 4 end event. Fractured. This is the worst event in all of Fortnite. It was so bad. Not only was it the fact that it was just a terrible event, it was a chapter end event, and it was garbage. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. Well, the last chapter end event, it was fighting against the Cube Queen's forces, and then, like, all that stuff. So we don't really want to do that again, or whether they were just trying to show off what Creative 2.0 could do, which wasn't really a good show off, in my opinion, because it was very boring sitting there for like 30 minutes. 30 minutes doing these, like, fetch and grab quests, trying to, like, put the island together. And there was also some, like, deleted scenes where, like, the aliens came back, or the, like, UFO came back, tried to take the 0 point, and it, like, ran away. But yeah, it was just a very bad event. The trailer at the end of it, where you had, like, the paradigm on that snow planet, and you saw, like, the island being put together, the trailer was the coolest part, right? That was really cool, and seeing, like, Mr. Beast and Geralt of Rivia and Hulk. It was a really cool trailer, but the event itself was just so bad. No, it was the worst event ever, and it was bad. It just has to get worse. It was. I still have nightmares. I also got DC'd. This was the only event I got DC'd during. This was the only event I got kicked from. So, now the Big Bang. This was the only event of Chapter 4. We didn't get any Chapter 4 events, which kind of sucked. But this was like technically Chapter 4, but it was like the Fortnite OG event. But the Big Bang event, I think, was. Like, it wasn't like a big, like, event. It was an event, but it was more like an advertisement while being a Fortnite event, right? Because you had, like, the rocket launch thing, which was just, like, rehashing because it was the end of the Fortnite OG era thing. And then they wanted to show off all the Chapter 5 metaverse stuff, which the metaverse is controversial as it is. I won't really get too big into this. It was, in terms of a comeback from Fractured, it was good, right? I'm gonna give it, like, a meh okay, just because, like, it was cool seeing, like, the Lego and the rocketry scene and the Eminem concert thing. Like, let's be real here, like, the Eminem concert was the coolest part of it. But I think the end view where, like, you see, like, the different universes and, like, the music, I think that was pretty cool. But, like, it was really just like a big advertisement for, like, the metaverse at the end of the day, to it. But I think it's okay, meh, Again, compared from the comeback from Fractured, I do think in terms of, like, the time that they had, since they didn't do any events during Season 4 or Chapter 4, I think that it was okay. It could potentially be bad. I can bear with it being bad, but it was okay in my opinion. Pandora's Box event. I didn't go to this. I didn't go to these or that just because, like, they didn't have, like, time frame things. You had to, like, be playing the game at the correct time. It was cool, seeing these mini events as compared. These mini events I think are at least okay as compared to, like, Chapter 4, where you didn't get any event at all, not even, like, these mini events. It's like, I like that they're at least trying again with Chapter 5. Like, I like that they're at least trying again with Chapter 5 as compared to Chapter 4. They didn't do any, because I think that Fortnite really excels with their events compared to any other thing with, like, other games, in my opinion. But, like, the Pandora's Box event, it was cool. I think it gets a good, just because it, like, started them trying again, like, they're trying to at least do something. Now the Zeus statue event, where the statue, like, strikes the like Pandora's box and stuff, and he's doing all the lightning strikes as like a last revenge on us and whatever for killing him. I mean, it's, it's a meh, okay. I mean, maybe it can be a good, but like it's not anything like too big, spectacular. But for what it is, I think it's okay. And with like seeing like I guess actually I'll give it a good just because with seeing, I'll put that at a okay. Just because like, with seeing the like storm, the sandstorm form with it, I think it's pretty cool. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like these mini events and comparative ranking of mini events are okay. Chapter 5, Season 3, the mini event. Uh, it's okay. It's not anything spectacular at all, but it is better than nothing. Seeing like the pipeline get charged up from Redline Rig and then going to Brutal Beachhead. Dr. Tomb, who's also the Wanderer, like stops the fueling process of it and like shuts it down, and then it like explodes near Redline Rig, and like Pandora's box is back again. But it was an okay event. Again, my thing with these is that at least they're trying in Chapter 5 as compared to Chapter 4. So yeah, that's the tier list. I can't think of maybe anything, I can change up. But yeah, thank you for watching, and maybe I'll do another Fortnite tier list.